Testing, 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 and we are live. Do, 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 do. Waiting on YouTube. Let's see. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, Minnesota Vikings. They do it again. They bring the hopes up and then crush them to the ground. A lot of reasons for why we lost on Sunday Football, but I'll do just getting my real deep thoughts after just going through some stats real quick on this game. On the offensive side of the ball, Josh Jobs had an okay night, I guess. 20 of 32, 221, a touchdown, an interception. Did have the one fumble because Kareem Jackson being dirty. Um, but Josh Dobbs did run in for a touchdown. Did have 8 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown. So overall, not a too bad night for Josh Dobbs. But Broncos did a good job for the most part locking Josh Dobbs down. TJ Hawkinson was our leading receiver with 4 catches, 55 yards. Josh Dobbs was looking for Hawkinson on that final drive a little too much, and honestly, a little bit was trying to was I feel like was really trying to focus in on Hawkinson a lot. But yeah, we're gonna get on that. We're gonna get on that in just a minute. Josh Oliver did have the one receiving touchdown after Josh Dobbs escaped out of pressure. 4 catches, 47 yards, and touchdown for Josh Oliver. And Addison also mostly silent night. 3 catches, 44 yards, nothing. Ty Chandler. Ty Chandler. You know what? Actually, we'll go Alexander Madison. We'll talk now. We're going to talk about Alexander Madison. Also, Brandon Powell had 3 catches, 32 yards, not too bad. Alexander Madison had an okay night in regards to yardage. 18 carries, 81 yards. Yards per carry, not as high as Ty Chandler. He had 10 carries, 73 yards, nothing. Alexander Madison did have a catch for -1. Ty Chandler, 4 catches, 37 yards, almost. He had like one catch, almost went for like a first down on a 3rd and 20. Ty Chandler should be the RB1 going forward. Alexander Madison, that one fumble. We're up 17-9, driving down the field, trying to go up by more than one score. Alexander Madison fumbles. Okay. Alexander Madison fumbles so much at he fumbles at inopportune times. I can't see Alexander Madison being RB1 anymore. Ty Chandler needs to be that guy. And he's proven that he can be that guy. Honestly, they honestly should not have played Madison. I know he cleared concussion protocol and all that, but you know, I think if Madison did not play, we would have won against the Broncos because that one fumble really was a big thing. It was a big momentum change. Even I mean, the fumbles overall were bad, but we did lose a couple fumbles. The Josh Dobbs one, that we should have gotten a first down. They didn't call the flag, all that. Yeah. But that Madison fumble. Oh my gosh. There's just needs to be some changes. Will they do it? I don't know. But they need to make a change. They need to make a change. We're calling for it throughout a lot of this season, whether it was, Cam Akers at that point or Now Ty Chandler. We need more. That could be the case. That could be the case, but need more Ty Chandler touches. Madison, here's the thing. You should not be putting up the some going in people's DMs and, saying that stuff. I get it. But when you're not putting good product onto the field, like Alexander Madison has, there needs to be some disciplinary action. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Which is needs to be RB2. Ty Chandler, just keep on feeding the ball. Needs to be that RB1. And yeah. Hey, Mexi. Congrats on firing Matt Canada. So that's probably the best present ever. But yeah, talking about Ty Chandler could be like just like prime down. Okay. Yeah, I miss. I mean, in a way, I miss Dalvin Cook a little bit. It doesn't help with the. I mean, with him right now, I don't know. I mean, he has the Jets offensive line, so I don't know if. I mean, it's a little bit of him not being as good as he used to be, and also the Jets offensive lines now. Yeah. So, but still, Dalvin Cook would still be better than Alexander Madison. I think it just needs to Ty Chandler just needs to be RB1. And hello, Luke. One second. Now I got my pitches ready. Yeah, for Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett. We'll see if he will improve now with a non-Matt Canada offense. If not, then we know Kenny Pickett might be a little bit of a problem. So the Vikings defense, on the other hand, for the most part, did their job. They did what they needed to do for 5. They didn't let them into the end zone until the very end, and they just made them kick field goals for the most part. But they did, of course, allow the one touchdown to Cortland Sutton in the end, which was absolutely incredible by them. But it should not have come down to that because we had opportunities to punch it in ourselves, but we just didn't. We played scared, and that is why I'm like, oh goddamn. Like O'Connell, play a little bit more aggressive. Play a little bit more aggressive. We had it we had it like at the 12, I think. At the end, we're up 17-15, and all we needed to was score a touchdown to win, to really just seal this thing up. Just couldn't do it. Just like playing not to lose. Guess what? You lost in the end. You lost in the end. And Daniel. But the defense held Javonte Williams at 37 yards. That is great. Run defense has been on point this season. The pass defense, not as much, but it's been okay. It's been okay. But running defense, great. One of the better running defense in the NFL. Passing defense needs to sharp a little bit more, but Russell Wilson, 27-35, 259, and a touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 4 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Samaje Perine, 7 catches, 60 yards. Jerry Jeudy, 5 catches, 58 yards. At the end, we could have sealed it at the end. To the fumble by Perine. We punched it out, but it just went out of bounds. We're going to recover it, and it just went out of bounds. That could have ended it as well. But we can't rely on defense to solely win you the game. Flores played scarce. Yes. Just like in the Saints game. Up, what we're up? 24-3 or something like that. Second half, played scared. We played scared. I don't like playing scared. We need to play to win the game. Stop playing scared. or else Wes Phillips will need to be taking offensive. Uh, like in the second half, uh, Wes Phillips then needs to call plays. Like Kevin O'Connell, first half, can like when he gets out to a nice lead, okay, nice and fun. But once he gets like too much of a lead and then just sits back, no, we need to get we need to get like Wes Phillips in there or something. I don't know. I would like to see a game that offense was called by Wes Phillips to see how that would go, but you know, it's just plain too scared, and I just hate that. I hate that. Can't have that against the Bears next week, especially if we do not have Jefferson. Especially with this loss now, I think we're just playing for a playoff. We're just playing to get that a wild card spot. We had a chance to move up in wild card standings to the sixth seed because Seattle lost, but now, yeah, first half KOC is the best coach in the league. Is one of the better coaches in the league. Second half, Kevin O'Connell, I do not know. I just do not know. And Josh Dobbs, you're trying to use that design quarterback run for Josh Dobbs. That is not something you use at the start of the game. That's something you use when you're toward the goal line or toward the end of the game. Just not on that first drive. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But of course, we got the fake punt and all that. That was more the special teams coach doing his thing. But you those little things, with the fake punt and all that, that cannot be masked up by the horrendous, scared coaching style in the second half. Um, but it was an out of conference game on the road, so that those games mean the least. So we still have 6-2 in the conference, which is good. Bears, it's a division game at home, you know, in conference, that's going to matter more. So that we need to win that game. We need to go in with momentum. 7-5 going into the bye. Um, it's sounding more and more like Justin Jefferson will not play against the Bears, but we'll see. To do that could be the case. So special teams has been, has been okay. With the fake punts at least. Um, Ryan Wright, he's like this. Greg Joseph. What did Greg Joseph was perfect, I think, 2 of 2, but longest was 34. I would have liked to seen us go down the field and see what if Greg Joseph could have maybe hit like a 50-something yard field goal to win the game, but that didn't happen that didn't happen, and they locked our offense up, and kudos to the Broncos defense. They've been on fire as of late. So their offense is getting a little bit better. But Brian Flores is not at fault for this game. Whatever anybody says, this defense is I think it's still 13th. I think last I checked, in defense. I think it's number 10 in offense. So I don't know what else to say. This defense is playing above their waist. Yes, we know Kareem Jackson to be ejected. That hit on Josh Dobbs, did that affect him the rest of the game? It could have. It could have. But at the end of the day, you cannot play scared and you can't fumble the ball. So biggest thing going forward, Ty Chandler needs to be the RB1. And second off, you cannot play scared. You need to keep the foot to the pedal in the second half if you have a lead. I wouldn't be like the Bears, for example, who are going to play on Monday. They had a lead. They took their foot off the metal and allowed Detroit to get back into the game, which of course hurts us. especially since we lost. And now Detroit looking more, I mean, basically with us losing, almost solidifying their spot unless they lose to someone who they're not supposed to. Let's say they if they lose to Green Bay, on Thanksgiving, then we may get a chance to get back in. But we're just focusing on getting a wild card spot. We can definitely move up to the 6th seed again because Seattle plays San Francisco on Thanksgiving when we play the Bears. So we should, in theory, move up to the sixth. Actually, move up to the 6th spot this week. Even though we should have, beat Denver and already be in the 6th spot, but move up to the 6th spot and then fight for maybe a 5th spot. I don't know. We have to play the Bears, so So no, it's not. You know, so you really don't care who wins. So if we win, it won't be much. It won't be too bad. So let's get to 7-5. Hope that Jefferson is back at some point. We know if they do sit Jefferson for this week, which is probably likely because we do have a bye afterward. We have to play then he'll be back against the Raiders in that stretch. We play the Raiders, the Bengals without Joe Burrow, the Lions, and then the Packers, and then the Lions again. So yeah, Lions have to lose their next 3, and we have to win our next 2, and we could take first in the well. Lions are not gonna see. Just need to make the playoffs. Make the playoffs. That's it. We just need to make the playoffs because we do not control our own destiny anymore for the North. Just make the playoffs, and then whatever goes from there. You can win your division and get bounced out in the first round. We saw that last year with us when we played the Giants. So even if we make it as a wild card seed and make it far, I'd rather make it as a wild card seed and go far than just win the division, get bounced out in the first round if you gave me the choice of the two. So because playoffs are what matters in the end. And I hope Josh Dobbs can be that guy who can really, this is what we need to hopefully, make a push. And the thing is, we still need to see the Josh Dobbs, Justin Jefferson connection. Because if Josh Dobbs, let's say, doesn't have a great game again, and Jefferson doesn't play, I don't want to take out I don't want to take out Josh Dobbs because it's unfair to him to not see him with Justin Jefferson. But if Jefferson does play on Monday night against the Bears and he still doesn't have, and he has a second consecutive not so great game. Not saying the Broncos game was bad, it was just not the greatest. Then we need to look at Jaren Hall. Jaren Hall played had a couple drives against the Falcons, almost led to a touchdown. He looked pretty decent. So Vikings are in a good situation to have, and they also have Nick Mullins. Let's not forget about Nick Mullins, everybody. So Jaren Hall, with one more week, I don't know if Jaren Hall should be off the concussion, should be clear to go for Monday Night Football. But if not, it will be Nick Mullins. So at least we got that going for us. So they might not activate. They may or may not activate Jaren Hall for Monday Night Football just because of the concussion protocol. But we still have Nick Mullins. So my guess is, yeah, we do know. We do not talk about Sean Mannion. We do not talk about Sean Mannion. Sean Mannion is. We don't want that to see that name the rest of the season. It's Josh Dobbs, Jaren Hall, Nick Mullins, the 3 guys. No Sean Mannion. No Sean Mannion. So I feel bad for Hall. He lost. Yes, I know. I feel bad too. And I know Josh Jobs has been help us riding this rocket ship. If we would have gone down and kicked that game-winning field goal, maybe the narrative would be different right now with Josh Dobbs because then we would have been 6-0. It's still the longest win streak then, and then we would have been 6-0 without Justin Jefferson and 3-0 without Kirk Cousins, and all that. But this team is still showing we can prove to be competitive. But yeah, I feel bad for Jaron Hall. He could get his. The thing is, the only way he gets his chance is if Josh Dobbs doesn't plays another not so good game against the Bears. As I said, it matters if Jefferson plays or not, because we need to see that Josh Dobbs in a game with Justin Jefferson. Because if he doesn't play good against the Bears, it needs to be we should only then move back to Jaron Hall if Justin Jefferson were in that game. But Justin Jefferson did tweet out today. What did he tweet out? Something about fantasy football. Let me get it up. He said, and I quote, "My health is way more important than you winning your fantasy games. It doesn't matter how many times y'all flood my DMs talking about me selling your team. I don't care. I don't care." So his health is much more important at this point. I always thought that. So I'm sorry for Vikings go 6-11 to snap. No, that's not going to happen. I mean, honestly, if we're being really honest, all 5 losses have been one score. Should have beat the Bucks. Should have beat the Eagles. Should have beat the Chargers. Should have beat the Chiefs. And should have beat the Broncos. Like, all 5 of those games were winnable. Were very, very winnable. So, if everything was perfect in a perfect world, Vikings would be 11-0. Yeah. But no, it's not. It's not. And the Vikings can now don't have the rabbit's foot anymore, and we're not, winning those all those 1-score games anymore. So, but the thing is, I'm happy though we're not getting blown out. The thing is, we haven't gotten blown out this season. We haven't really truly blown out anybody. The Packer game was the closest that we got from really like blowing someone out. So, yeah. Hot take: the Vikings should draft a running back in the first round. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. There's always good. I love getting a running. I love, trying to look for running backs. Because our running game is not great, but yeah. The Vikings are a competitive team. The Vikings are a competitive team and always will be. Not always will be, but for the moment, they are a they like their 1-score games. They like their 1-score games. Adam. That'd be hilarious if they drafted for Are you and Jim B doing a dual stream when we play the Lions? I'm hoping so. Of course, that game is on Christmas Eve, so I do not know what Jim B's plans are for that. So, I can't confirm or deny anything as of right now. So, if I do know later on, I will, of course, make that announcement. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can do a dual stream for Lions Vikings for week 16. So, yeah. No, Bears are not going to blow out the Vikings. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game because the Vikings, the Bears competed with the Lions. As long as the Josh Dobbs has a better day than Jared Goff, which was not very good. I think he what 3 interceptions or something like that. As long as he doesn't do that, you know, I think yeah, we should be good to go. This should be an easy game, even though yes, it is Justin Fields. But honestly, as weird as this is, when we played the Bears the last time, Badgett was tearing us. It was like before Badgett got in, Fields wasn't doing much, and Badgett was. And then when Badgett went in, I'm like, oh man, here they come. But luckily, that their comeback wasn't complete. So I think we can handle Justin Fields at home. It just will be. I promise you, it will be a one-score game at at the end, somehow, some way. The Vikings have been pretty bad at home, but um, they did beat the 49ers in their last. They beat the 49ers and Saints their last home game, so maybe it's going in a different direction. The Vikings will be lucky to go 3-3 in their final 6 games. Nah, best case scenario, they are one and done in the playoffs, depending on who we play. Of course, if we play like a San Francisco, yes, we beat them at home, but that was without Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel. So, but if we play like the NFC South winner, I think we definitely would win that, especially if it was the Saints. Yeah, Bears made, yeah, the Bears did, they did, but I think I don't think Josh Dobbs will be that. We don't have Cousins, so Dobbs, while not as great of a passer as Cousins, that running dynamic is definitely a very key factor, very game changing factor in my opinion. So he is a quarterback who can run. He's not a running quarterback. He's a quarterback who can run, Josh Dobbs. So, but my guess, for this Bears game, we should win. If we don't, that is going to be absolutely embarrassing. More embarrassing than losing to the Broncos because at least the Broncos are hot. We lost to a very hot team. The Bears, they're not really going anywhere. Yes, and I will say that Dobbs against the Broncos, he really got rattled up. Especially at the start of the game with the hit on him. But also, yes, he did. He made some dangerous throws. There was some throws that should have been interceptions. I won't lie about that. But could have it a lot worse. We could have it a lot worse. Jaron Hall is a rookie. He could make this. You never know. He might have played similarly to Dobbs just because he's a rookie. I mean, they beat the 49ers with Cousins. I understand that. Who the Viking? I mean, if the Vikings were to play the Broncos again, I mean, I would hope that we would be better. But yeah, I just hope that going forward, this is a wake up call. This we're back to reality now, and we're focused in. This is the first loss with Josh Dobbs, and hopefully we can come through. This is coming through adversity right now, getting back on the win streak against Chicago, Monday Night Football under the bright lights. So the season is not over. The NFC is such trash. Stop being like this. Just stop being like this. The season's not over. The season's not over. We are firmly in that seventh seed, and the rest of the teams in the playoff hunt behind us are 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 nowhere near to close to catching us. The seven teams who are in the playoffs right now for the NFC are the seven teams who will be in the playoffs. I can almost put down a big old money line on it. Big old yeah. So, but just by looking at it, we should at least win at least three more, if not four more, if the Bengals really suck without Joe Burrow. So Um, yeah, at least beat the Bears, Raiders, and Packers, and then maybe if we add the Bengals without Joe Burrow, get up to 10 wins, and that should be enough at the very least to make a wild card. So yeah, yeah. The Packers are the eighth seed right now. They're the eighth seed. That should say a lot about the NFC. This trash conference known as the NFC. So I truly believe the seven teams are in the playoffs right now. Will be the seven teams. We don't know what order they'll be in. The Vikings, the Seahawks do look like they have a tougher schedule. So I think the Vikings ultimately maybe move up to the sixth seed, and then Dallas will probably stay at five. And then of course whoever wins the South is going to be fourth, and then the battle for first through third is definitely going to be a very tough battle. I thought Eagles were going to lose, so I thought Detroit, ooh, maybe they could get the one seed. They can still Detroit could still get the one seed, but Eagles they're just on fire right now. They are literally on fire right now, and I don't know if is anybody gonna take them down. Obviously maybe the Cowboys or the Niners, but besides that, I mean, that's going to be very tough. It is going to be very tough to take down the Eagles, and their only one loss was out of conference. So yeah, against the Jets, while the Lions have lost an in conference game against the Seahawks. So um yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to take down the Eagles in the one seed. Um yeah, lots of pain. Lots of pain. Because you don't want to play to suck. You play to win the game. You play to win the game. That's the end of the day. Yes, there's lots of pain right now, but you play to win the game. You play to go as far as you can. I always want my team to make the playoffs. So, and that's what we're going to hope for. Make the playoffs and just let's just ride this ship, just rocket ship as far as it can go. And that's just my opinion. I don't want to tank because we're in the playoffs picture right now. So yeah, yeah. And that's just some news right there. Sheldon Day was elevated 53-man roster after Dean Larry Torres pack. And maybe we'll try to maybe get Shaquille Leonard. I don't know. But we shall see. We shall see. But anyways, Vikings lose 20-21 against the Denver Broncos. We're on to Chicago next week, Monday Night Football, before we're going to the bye. Thank you all for watching. This has been Adam, also known as Minnesota Vikings Man 28. And as always, Skull.